Raj, very good morning. Can you please allow me to share?
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm just making a post. Yes, sir. I just made you the host. Thank you. And we are live streaming this to our YouTube channel. Yeah.
Very good morning, Raj. So you'll be taking care of admitting participants, right?
Yes, sir.
The screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Shall we start or we'll wait for a few minutes?
No, we can start, sir. As in, like, white hair. So probably we can have a chat as to who is joined for the first time.
Yeah.
Or which location they're tuning in from. I think mostly it's all our known folks, but if there is anybody who is joined in for the first time, just let us know in the chat. Any new joinees, like newcomers who's joining the webinar for the first time. Okay, we got Kazi in the world for the first time. Let us know, Kazi, from which location you're tuning in from, Hyderabad or any other city. Okay, very good. From Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, welcome.
Yeah, let's start. Thank you again
Yeah,
for
Penny?
joining us. Yes, Raj?
Yeah, if any participants in the waiting, just allow them, sir, as you have the host control. I'm not seeing anybody in the wait room, but in case if anybody joins in the next 5 minutes,
Yeah, I'll try to.
yeah, thank you, sir.
You can maybe change the settings to, I mean, you can disable the waiting room, I guess.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Then they can join automatically. Welcome, everyone. I'm Srinivas Madhipati from Eeva Patent Services. I'm excited to begin our session on Trademark Search 101. I have my colleague Suma Roshni, a trademark associate at Eeva, assisting me to practically show some examples of search in the later part of the session. I have other colleagues as well joining online as well. I have some of them sitting along with me. Thanks to everyone joining us. So in today's session, we will provide practical knowledge on trademark search and walk you through tools and real-world examples. What is a trademark? Once a founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, told, "Your brand is what other people say about you when you are not in the room." That's exactly what is a trademark is. It's not just a logo or a fancy name. It's the face of your reputation, your business identity, the trust you have built with your customers. In the early 1990s, a young entrepreneur started selling shoes online under the name Just Do It Shoes. He didn't realize that Just Do It was already a registered trademark by Nike. Within weeks, he got a cease and desist notice, and all his branding, inventory, and marketing efforts had to be scrapped. This very well happens with many other brands. So we have seen many getting a cease and desist notice within no time after they starting the business, and they have to actually change their brand. So in this example, this is not an example, this is a real case. He lost not just money, but the momentum of his dream. That's the power of a trademark. A trademark application is your way of telling the world, this brand is mine. I have claimed it, and I'll protect it. Whether it's a logo, a name, a phrase, filing a trademark ensures legal ownership and exclusive rights to use that identity for your goods or services. It's like a shield. It helps you prevent others from copying your brand and gives you a legal base to enforce your rights in court if needed. But more importantly, it builds trust. When consumers see your brand on a product, they know what to expect. That's why trademarks are so deeply tied to brand value and consumer loyalty. So the next time you see a mark or a brand with TMR R symbol, you know this. It's not just a legal mark, it's a declaration of trust, reputation, and business intent. Why conduct a trademark search? Someone said very rightly, the costliest branding mistake is launching without a trademark search. Imagine this. A startup spends months designing, packaging, building a website, printing marketing material for their dream brand. For example, for a skincare line, everything's perfect until they receive a legal notice from an existing company claiming trademark infringement. This also we saw in the same class in cosmetics. What happens next? They are forced to rebrand, lose money, time, and worse is that consumer trust. All because they didn't run a proper trademark search. So why is a trademark search important? Let me admit Naga Prakash and Sai Suraj. Thanks for joining. So why is a trademark search important? Obviously, to avoid legal conflicts. You check if your proposed mark is already registered or similar to someone else. It's your first legal defense against objections or infringement suits. And you assess risk before filing by doing a search. So a search helps you predict statutory objections under the Trademarks Act, saving you time and energy during examination. And the next one is to guide branding strategy. You may discover a similar sounding name is already taken in the same class, prompting a change in direction before investing in branding. And lastly, but not the least, you avoid loss of time, money, and goodwill. So you will lessen your legal disputes and the expensive costs involved around it. So now we understood why trademark search is essential. Let's look at what exactly we are searching for. So the different types of trademarks the businesses use for their products and services. Trademarks are not just names. They come in many forms, and each plays a unique role in brand recognition. Let me walk you through this visual. On the left, we see the iconic Coca-Cola bottle. This is a brilliant example of a shape work. We call it as shape mark. Even without reading the label, we recognize it instantly by its contoured shape. Coca-Cola has also trademarked the name, which we call the word mark. So here, two forms of trademarks are at work. One is the shape mark or the shape uh, bottle shape, and the word mark, that is Coca-Cola. And in the center, we have McDonald's. Here we have that classic golden arches, a powerful symbol or a device mark, or we call logo. And just below it, the famous slogan, "I'm loving it." This is a tagline or a slogan of the or slogan mark. It is also registrable if it is distinctive. Next, we have a brand called Orange. This demonstrates a color trademark. While color alone is hard to protect, when used consistently and distinctively, like the Tiffany blue or Cadbury purple, it can become a source of identifier. Here, the orange color block becomes their brand's visual DNA. And to the right, we see the famous Volkswagen. This is an example of a logo type, a stylized combination of letters within a symbol. It's a device mark again. So it is protected in its exact form. Why does this matter? Word mark, logo, or a shape mark, or a color or a slogan. It's just theoretical, it's foundational to conducting a proper search. Let's see. Before actually going for search, one needs to know the classification. So there are 45 classes in total. Classes 1 to 34 are for goods, and classes 35 to 45 are for services. So when you file a trademark, you must choose the right class that aligns with your business offerings. For example, class 1 deals with chemicals, Think of brands like BASF, which supply raw chemicals ingredients used in agriculture, paint, and industry, is registered in class 1. Think about Berger Paints, is registered in class 2. The class 2 deals with paints. Class 3, cosmetics and cleaning preparations. The brands like L'Oreal, which is into skincare, or maybe Ariel, which is into cleaning preparations, are registered in class 3. Class 4 deals with lubricants and fuels. The brands like Shell, Indian Oil, or similar marks are registered in class 4. Class 5 deals with pharmaceuticals. So this is the wider class or broader class, or maybe uh, in terms of number of applications or in terms of number of searches we do as a services provider, as a trademark services provider, we do lot of searches which falls under class 5. The brands like Pfizer is a perfect example. It covers medicines, vaccines, and supplements. The class 6 deals with metals. So the best example is Tata Steel. Class 9 deals with scientific and electric apparatus. And in between, class 7 deals with machines and machine tools. Class 9 is again a broader class. So scientific apparatus, measuring instruments, electronics, electric apparatus. This is a huge class. Apple is the best example where like most of its products, including the software as a product, falls under class 9. Class 10 deals with medical apparatus and class 11 deals with appliances. The Philips is the best example. So where like they are registered in class 11. We just saw classes 1 to 11 that deal with foundational goods like chemicals, pharmaceuticals, and appliances. Now let's move into a slightly different territory, class 12 through 23, which deal with vehicles, luxury goods, daily products, and raw materials. Class 12 primarily deals with vehicles, Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Hero Honda, or the Maruti, all actually gets registrations in class 12. Class 13 is firearms, though it is a restricted class in India and in many other jurisdictions. Why it is restricted? It deals with firearms. That means like a normal applicant, any company cannot apply. If they can apply, if they apply also, the applications won't be accepted until they actually prove or they show they have permission to manufacture this. So the companies like Midani, HAL, BHEL, BEL, Zen Technologies, all based in Hyderabad, which deals with products falls under defense or arms. So all registered in class 13. Class 14 deals with jewelry and precious metals. The brands like Rolex or Joy Alucas or Kalyan Jewelers or all other jewelers actually falls under class 14. Class 15, though we see less number of applications in this class, the trademark or the brand Gibson, which is into guitars, violins, keyboards, any instrument falls here. If you are building an app for guitar training, your content might be falling in class 41. But if you sell actual guitars, its class is 15. As we move further in the nice classification system, we now reach a set of classes that are very visible in everyday consumer life, from fashion to food. Class 25 is for clothing. The brands like Adidas or the Nike, protecting not just their name, but also their iconic shape of the goods or the logos in these classes. Again, class 24 is a subclass or maybe related class to 25. Class 24 deals with textiles, raw textiles. And class 26 deals with lace and embroidery. Again, a related class to 25. So if someone is actually planning to enter into market with a very good brand, though they actually initially plan ready-made garments as their product line, but they very soon they want to enter into other textile and yarn producing or maybe products, then they have to consider filing their brand in class 24 and class 26 as well. And class 27 again related to class 25 textiles. So it can be floor coverings, including the carpets, mats, vinyl flooring, and even artificial turf. A brand like Wellspun registers here for its range of home and hotel flooring solutions. And class 28 deals with games and sporting goods. Class 29, now we are starting the food classes. So class 29 deals with milk related products. Amul is India's dairy giant, is a key or a major brand in class 29, along with other brands. Not only butter, they do frozen foods as well, which actually falls in class 30. So class 30 is for staple foods. This is the busiest class for FMCG. It includes tea, coffee, flour, pasta, spices, and snacks. Maggi, for example, is filed here for noodles and soups. So are biscuits, brands, chocolate bars, and packaged bakery items. All falls under class 30. Here a tip to the associates or the people who are actually searching for trademark. So be careful with food related businesses. Class 29 and 30 often overlap depending on the ingredients. So in different countries, like soups are, for example, are classed in 29. In some countries, they are classified, or maybe the keywords or the description of the goods falls in class 30. So before searching, actually, you have to search the classification, or you have to read the classification of that country. Though the nice classification is accepted over by 150 countries, so predominantly, but there are few the pockets actually here and there, like the soups falling in class 29 and as well 30 in some countries. So class 31 is for natural agricultural products. So the KRBL is the good example as a company. The India Gate Basmati rice is their brand. Even that doesn't fall in 31, but that falls in 30. And the company which deals with unprocessed natural agricultural products falls under class 31. And again, class 32 is a busy class. So it deals with light beverages, which are non-alcoholic beverages like fruit juices, aerated drinks, energy drinks, and mineral water. Maza, the mango drink from Coca-Cola, is filed under class 32. So note here, non-alcoholic beverages falls under class 32 and alcoholic beverages falls under class 33. Again, class 32 and 33 overlaps. So class 32, example, the beers are categorized under class 32, not under 33. So you need to take that care before actually deciding to search and suggesting your client or maybe a colleague. Class 34 deals with smokers articles. So when I wrote my trademark agent exam in the Viva Voice, I was asked what is the description of class 34. So that is the only question I was asked. That means like the associates or even the brand owners, whoever are actually interested in filing trademarks, it's always better like you have a read of all these classes and you remember them, or at least like you refer before searching and filing your applications. And class 35, we are closing the doors on product classes that are 1 to 34. And now we are actually entering the services classes. Again, class 35 is a very broad class. So predominantly as a description, advertising and business services, all business services. Why I listed Zomato here. So Zomato is actually promoting its partners on its platform. That means like promotion of their services on its platform is advertising services. And class 35 will also have retail businesses, wholesale businesses, import, export services, and even the professional services as well. When someone is actually promoting you, like the third party advertising or LinkedIn marketing, the content marketing, all these businesses who are actually supporting businesses will fall under class 35. So if they want to register their brand, so they have to consider class 35. Class 36 deals with insurance, financial, and real estate services. This is a banking and financial backbone class. It covers insurance, loan services, investment management, online payment gateways, and real estate financing. ICICI Bank, SBI, HDFC Life all file under this class for their financial offerings. Today, even fintech apps like Paytm or PhonePe register here. Important note here is crypto platforms and NBFCs also fall under class 36. And the next class is class 37, which is into construction and repair services. This includes building construction, infrastructure development, plumbing, painting, electrical work, and machinery repair. Brands like Tata Projects and Tata Steel, when filing for construction and maintenance services, use this class to protect their engineering and engineering procurement construction wings. If your startup offers home renovation services or repair aggregation, they fall under class 31 as well. Sorry, class 37 as well, along with class 35. Class 38 again is a broader class. It is for telecommunication services. This class is all about telecom, internet, and communication infrastructure. From voice calls and SMS to video conferencing and satellite communication, everything falls here. Airtel is a leading brand filed under this class. Digital communication apps like Zoom or WhatsApp also register here. Even OTT platforms that offer streaming like Netflix or the Geo Hotstar may extend into this class depending on the nature of services. Class 39 deals with transportation and storage services. This is the logistics class covering delivery, shipping, warehousing, and courier services. Blue Dart is a prominent example. Startups in hyperlocal delivery, for example, BB Daily or Big Basket, the daily thing, or Zepto or the Blinkit, all these people who are actually delivering groceries or other services, the delivery part or the transportation part all comes under class 39. And yes, Zomato and Swiggy as well, they fall under class 39 as well, along with class 35 and their technology class 42. So we'll see these other classes. So class 40 deals with industrial and manufacturing services related to processing, treatment, coating, or finishing of materials. Asian Paints, apart from their class 2, which their products falls into, they also extend their painting services. Apart from selling paints, they offer texture coating and color treatment services. Hence, they fall under class 40 as well. So if your client offers custom fabrication, for example, dyeing, metal finishing, or 3D printing services, they all fit in here, class 40. Class 41 is again a vast class which deals with education and entertainment. So this includes training, teaching, tutoring, coaching, online courses, publishing, entertainment services like streaming or stage performances, event management, event arrangement. The one happening in Hyderabad now, the Miss World contest, the arrangement of this by the organization which is handling this or organizing the event. So their brand comes under class 41. The Miss World itself comes under class 41. And the best example or the listed example here, Byju's, for example, uses class 41 to protect its education technology services. So there are other classes also which are very important. So class 43 into the restaurant or food services. Taj Hotels, a premium brand in hospitality, protects its name and services under this class. Again, food aggregators like Zomato and Swiggy, apart from their class 35, 39, 38, so they protect their brand in 43, though they won't operate food places, or they won't manufacture food or maybe prepare food. So they promote food businesses because of that. Like, for example, if someone starts a food outlet with Zomato itself as name Zomato, then to protect that interest, so food aggregators like Zomato and Swiggy and other people all file here besides class 35 and 39. And class 44 deals with medical and veterinary services. The hospitals, clinics, wellness centers, fertility centers, veterinary services fall here. Apollo Hospitals is a major trademark in this class. If you offer medical diagnostics, telemedicine, or herbal treatments also, so they fall under class 44. Class 45 is other services which are not listed in these services classes from 35 to 44. They are like professional services, legal services, security services. The law firms or intellectual properties or agencies like us, or the detective services, or the security consultancy services, or the arbitration centers, or the mediation centers, or the counseling centers for other than medical services, all falls under this class. For example, AZB Partners or Eeva Patent Services, we registered our brands in class 45 along with class 41 and 35. And closing summary to the nice classification system is, so when we are actually planning to file a trademark, so it's very important, like when we are helping a hospital or a tech firm or a tech platform or a law office, these 6 classes 40 to 45 are very crucial. And when we are actually planning or maybe suggesting a brand for product classes, like maybe into food products, so class 29, 30, 31, and 32 are very important to search. Though we know the product category as on date only falls under class 30, it is very important to search in class 29 as well, class 31 as well, and class 32 as well, because these are related classes. And for example, if some brand is there in class 32, which is a very old brand, which is a very prominent brand in that class into fruit juices, they may consider also entering into fresh fruits, uh, which comes under class 31. And if our client is actually planning with a similar name or descriptive name or matching name, which is already there in 32, but it is available in 31, so it will be a conflict. So for that reason, when we are suggesting a search, when we are suggesting a trademark to our colleagues or to our associates or to our clients, so we have to make sure the classes are very well known. We have to write down the classes, related classes, and then we have to connect a search. So we'll then move to the next slide, which we map businesses to classes. This is a classic example of Amazon into more than 10 classes. So class 9, they are into computer software and electronics with their brand Kindle, Fire TV Stick, Echo, and they are into class 16 with their stationery and the packaging materials. And they are into class 25, which actually they deal with apparel with their brand, Amazon's Essentials and Amazon Basics. And they are into class 28, white labeling of games and sporting goods, like with Amazon Basics again. They are into dumbbells, they are into ropes, they are into many other sporting articles, so which Amazon as a brand is available on Amazon platform. And they are into staple foods also, with Amazon Fresh. So they have the food grains or the groceries, so which most of them actually falls in class 30 and 32 as well in 29. They are into class 35. So this is the main class actually. This is the core class of Amazon. It protects Amazon.com platform itself from retail operations, marketplace services, and promotions. And if you are an e-commerce business, class 35 is your lifeline. So if someone is actually planning for a e-commerce business, um, though they are not white labeling their products, the first class they need to start with is actually class 35. And along with it, like if they are also delivering the products of its vendors, then in that case, like they have to consider in filing in class 39. So Amazon does this. So Amazon Prime Delivery, Amazon Transportation, Amazon Warehousing, everything comes under class 39. I welcome Prabha and Kivel Narasimrao garu. Thanks for joining, sir. And class 41, we again Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Audible, or Amazon Kindle. It falls under class 41. They registered in class 41 as well. And class 42, they're Amazon Web Services. So, and the key takeaway here is like this slide shows how one business can span in 10 plus classes. Your clients may not be Amazon, but they might sell a product and offer a tech platform. So proper class mapping during search and filing is very critical. We'll move to the statutory objections and the other objections related to trademark application rejections in a couple of slides before actually going into seeing some live examples of searching. So section 9 is something like a generic or descriptive, immoral or religious things are grouped by Trademark Act as objectionable section. And section 11 again is something about identical or similar marks, which we are talking about the availability. So section 9 is the eligibility of the mark, and section 11 is the availability of the mark. So section 9 is an absolute ground. This section focuses on the inherent qualities of the mark, regardless of whether anyone else has used it or not. So it doesn't talk about whether it is being used by someone else, which falls under section 11. Section 9 is an absolute ground. This section focuses on the inherent qualities of the mark, regardless of whether anyone else has used it or not. Your mark will be refused if it is generic. For example, trying to register super milk for a dairy product will almost certainly be rejected. And descriptive words like fresh, natural, tasty, desi describe the product, not the brand. They don't help consumers identify the origin of goods. And the words like laudatory words like best, premium, top choice, standard, premier, these lack definitiveness or distinctiveness. So these comes under section 9, sorry. And also surnames. Common Indian surnames like Reddy, Rao, Naidu, Yadav are frequently objected to unless proven distinctive. And geographical terms, names like Hyderabad, Amaravati, Godavari are all objected or will be objected under section 9(1)(b). So unless the applicant proves secondary meaning for it. And immoral or religious words or the logos. Any word that offends public sentiment or uses religious references like Mahalakshmi fashions or Sri Lakshmi curries can be rejected. Key point here is these rejections are absolute. Even if nobody else has used the term, the registry can still object and refuse. And then we'll come to section 11, which deal with relative grounds. Section 11 looks at conflicts with existing marks. It's about market confusion. A trademark may be refused if it is visually, phonetically, or conceptually similar to an already registered trademark. There is a likelihood of confusion among consumers. For example, Lakshmi versus Lux. Lux, Lex, and maybe Lux. Similar in pronunciation. Star Cups versus Starbucks. Star Cups versus Starbucks. Conceptual imitation. Nike with spelling Nikey or Nikee in sporting goods, likely to be opposed by Nike, Nike. This is where a trademark search plays a major role. It's your early warning system to spot overlaps and avoid disputes. So the conclusion here is on section 9 and 11, absolute and relative grounds for refusal of trademark applications. Avoid descriptive, generic, or overused terms. Avoid similar sounding names, even if spelled differently. And most importantly, run a search first because these two sections are the biggest hurdles to registration. And we'll see visually some of these brands. I want to have a disclaimer here. So we are not judging any of these brands, whether they are good or bad. So this is where trademark law gets nuanced. Let's revisit the idea of what can and cannot be protected, especially when it comes to restaurants, historical terms, and coined brands. Let's start with Zomato. A strong example of a coined term. It's made up, not found in any dictionary, and has no direct reference to food or delivery. This gives it high distinctiveness and strong legal protection. But contracts that with a name like Manchi Buffet in Telugu, which means good buffet. It's a regional descriptive phrase directly referring to the nature of service, food and buffet style, which makes it vulnerable to Section 91B objection. The registry may say this is not a brand, it's a description. However, here is the key exception. Even descriptive names may succeed in registration if they have acquired what's called secondary meaning. This what happened with Make My Trip or Book My Show or Big Basket. And also Charminar cigarettes. Charminar is a protected monument and marks with religious, historical, or geographical significance often face rejection under Section 9 of 2. But Charminar cigarettes was granted this registration because it had decades of usage. It had established a market reputation. The mark had become associated with a specific brand, not the monument. This is called acquired distinctiveness. The same with Make My Trip and Book My Show. So the my symbol is something like they promote as a snippet or as a brand, as a logo, as a face of the logo. And again, the coin nature without a space in between the thing, and it's a e-commerce platform and it operates as .com. All these things actually are mattered in getting a registration, but it is very different or very difficult. For example, for a brand like Fresh from Home or Fresh to Home and Manchi Buffet. Again, the disclaimer is like we are not judging the brand here. So Manchi Buffet also acquired that distinctiveness, and they also got a registration recently. And Fresh to Home also have a registration. So they also proved that they have acquired the secondary meaning or the acquired distinctiveness because of their reach. The key takeaway here is like the coin names like Zomato or Swiggy are very strong, high chance of registration. Descriptive names like Manchi Buffet, Fresh to Home or Fresh from Home or something like that. Booking.com is the best example. So they faced a lot of objections, or maybe that it took some time for them to get a registration by showing their acquired distinctiveness. So objection likely unless stylized and used extensively for these names. And the geo religious names like Charminar, high risk under Section 9 of 2, but can succeed with historic goodwill. And I have actually given a table of how like trademark eligibility against the remarks. So Taj Mahal tea, it is eligible, it is registered, despite Taj Mahal being a historical geographic term. Long-term usage, distinct packaging, and secondary meaning, that is acquired distinctiveness, supports its registration. And Charminar cigarettes also, we already had the same thing. Charminar is a geographic historic location in Hyderabad, inherently non-distinctive, but ITC's long use has established its secondary meaning and it is registered. Press to home, though it is weak intrinsic strength, highly descriptive of the service, fresh food delivered home, registration possible with stylized logo or acquired distinctiveness. And homemade, so again, it is eligible, registered because it is coin term. Normally it is homemade with a space, with the E in between, is very, very difficult. So as it is coined without E as a single word. So it also they stored, I mean, they showed the stylized mark as their face of the brand, and that increased their eligibility in getting a registration. Again, with Book My Show and Make My Trip as well, they are eligible, they are registered, though suggestive. The brands are very suggestive. It has become distinctive through use and branding, successfully registered their brand. Could face objection on distinctiveness if new, like for example, other brands like Book My Tailor or maybe something else. So we had some experiences with dealing with those brands, the kind of brands. And Dabur, Tata, Bajaj, or maybe something else, the surnames of the promoters. These, for example, Dabur, Tata, and Bajaj are highly eligible because they had uh, that distinctiveness and long usage. But for newer names, maybe a surname of a promoter of the business, if he wants to register it as a trademark, then they may face initial objections from the registry until we can show the long usage of maybe 3+ years or 5+ years of usage. And this is the best example again, like recently happened the Bahubali. This is a old case. So following India's military operation named Operation Sindoor on May 7th, there has been a surge of trademark applications in India and as well in other countries. In India alone, around 23 applications have been filed, mainly under Class 41 for entertainment and education services by individuals including ex-defense personnel, legal professionals, and even the giant corporations like in Reliance Industries for their Geo studios. Though they later withdrawn the application. So internationally, applications have been submitted in the US and UK as well by individuals intending to use the mark for commercial purposes. The trend has sparked ethical concerns about the commercialization of a national military event, with legal experts noting that while the Indian government doesn't automatically own such terms, the registrar can reject marks that violate public interest under the Trademark Act. So this is also another aspect, the ethical and legal aspect, mostly the ethical aspect. And a similar trademark frenzy was witnessed with the term Bahubali. Following the blockbuster success of the film, um, the mark has been applied in classes like Class 6, Class 7 for steel, the machine and machine parts, as well in Class 41 for the toys, Class 28 for the furnitures. So for the mobile applications also, for food delivery apps as well, and for some websites as well. But Arca Media Works, the promoter or the producer of the full film, so they defended by filing uh, applications in all the classes, in all the 45 classes, and then they, after filing their applications, they sent legal notices to these applicants, other applicants who are trying to use the stylized wording as well. Not only the word Bahubali, but also the stylized writing the movie had, or the poster, or the name had. So like the recent wave of filings for Operation Sindoor, the Bahubali case illustrates how iconic names tied to public sentiment or cultural identity often trigger opportunities trademark filings. It underscores the importance of early brand protection. Here I will ask my teammate Suma to take over and present the tools available for trademark searching. So Suma, I'll just skip it here. You can present the PPT from your end. Raj, can you please actually make her the host, or if I have the permission, I'll do that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Suma Roshni, working as Trademark Associate in Eeva. Thank you, sir, for sharing insights on what a trademark is and importance of doing a trademark search and about nice classification. Now we are aware of classes. Classes 1 to 34 comes under a product category and classes 35 to 45 comes under a service category. I will take this further on how to perform a search. When a client comes to us to register a trademark, once we finalize his trademark to be applied in which classes, the next step is to perform a search. If we are applying a trademark in India, this is the website. This is the website where we are going to perform a search. This is the Indian Trademark Registry, which contains information of all the marks applied till date. General public can run a search through using this database for free. By using some filters, we can perform from a basic to advanced search. We can do 3 types of search using this website. One is the wordmark, phonetic, Vienna code search. So, why to conduct a wordmark search? In wordmark search, we are going to find if there is any existing mark which is exact, similar, or partially similar to our mark.
Excuse
So,
me. Yeah, you can make it full screen presentation.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, sir. So why we are conducting a wordmark search? Wordmark search, we are going here. We want to find if there is any existing mark which is similar partially or completely to our mark which we want to register. So I will show you a few examples of how to conduct a wordmark search in real time. Here I'm going to take few example, and the first one is like Aquashore. This is the page where we can do our searches. There are 3 types of search. The first one is wordmark, second one is Vienna code search, and the third one is phonetic search. Now, here I'm going to show you how we are going to do a wordmark search. While doing a wordmark search, again we have 3 options. The first option is start with, contains, and match with. While we are using start with, it shows us the marks with the mark starting with Aquashore and which has some suffix to it. If we are going to use contains, it shows us the marks which has some prefix and suffix to the mark Aquashore. If we are going to use the match with, it shows us the marks which is exactly same as like Aquashore. So now I am going to start using start with for Aquashore in class 32. This Aquashore is a brand name for drinking water. Drinking water comes under class 32. So while I have 1 second. While I have given the word Aquashore, it shows us all the marks which has been applied with Aquashore, and it has some suffix to it. So total here I am able to find there are 20 marks which has been applied for Aquashore, which is having some suffix to the marks. Aquashore Galaxy, Aquashore Safe Water, Aquashore Nature, Aquashore Packing Drinking Water. So once I am observing these marks, the first mark Aquashore has been applied by this particular proprietor. The current status of the mark is abandoned. The second mark which is applied is Aquashore packaged drinking water by this proprietor, and the status is refused. This mark has been refused by the trademark registry. And the third mark Aquashore has been applied by Eureka Forbis Limited. This is the famous brand where we are having water filters. So if we observe, all the marks which has been applied by this brand is registered. If we go further details, into this, it shows that this mark is applied on 2010. The status is registered and the validity of the mark is 2030. So when coming to trademarks, we need to renew our mark every 10 years. So this has the validity to 2030 and the trademark registry will send you intimation mail 1 year before this date, and then we need to renew our mark again. So it will extend the validity to another 10 years. These are the marks by this brand: Eureka Sure, All Seasons, Spillguard, and some other names. So this is the basic word mark search if I am using start with. Now I am going to show you how to use contains for the same word. Here now, while I am going to use contains, it gives us marks which has either prefix or suffix to the word aquasure. So now it shows us the marks with both prefix and suffix. So here I can find there are around 26 marks either with prefix or suffix. So the first mark is aquasure. The second one is Forbis label aquasure. This is the prefix to the mark aquasure. Aquasure is the name which the client is intended to apply, but we can see there is already a mark which is having some prefix to it. And in this mark, you can see there is some suffix to the mark aquasure. So now I'm going to observe the aquasure which has been applied by Eureka Forbis. The current status is refused. The aquasure which has been applied by other proprietors, the status is refused. So if we go through these searches, it shows us which marks are registered, which marks are opposed, which marks are withdrawn, and more on. See, this is the Royal Aquasure. This mark Royal Aquasure has been applied by the proprietor Royal Agrotech. This has been refused because there is already mark Aquasure which has been applied by the other client. This mark aquasure is applied by this proprietor which has been withdrawn. This is the other mark, healthy aqua, sure in purity. Even this mark has been abandoned. Pure and safe aqua has been refused by the registry. By seeing all these marks, we can come to a conclusion that other than the Eureka Forbis, all other marks are either refused or withdrawn from by the clients itself. So next is like match with. This shows us marks which are exactly like the word which we have given. So here I have given the aquasure. So it is showing us like 7 marks, which is exactly aquasure. So while doing a word mark search, we have 3 options to search. Either we can search if there is any exact word which matches with our mark or which contains. While we are using contains, it shows us marks with either suffix or prefix and both. In starting with, it shows us the mark which starts with the same mark which we are intent to use, aquasure, and it shows us some suffix. So now I'll show you some examples of other marks which other marks to be used. So I'm going to use sprout kind in class 31 for agriculture goods. I have named it as sprout kind to indirectly describe this is used for pulses agricultural goods which is organic in nature. So I'm going to use contains for sprout kind. Agriculture goods and pulses comes under class 31. So we can find that there is no one who have applied for sprout kind in class 31. So next I am going to divide this sprout kind into two parts. I am going to say if there is anyone registered word with sprout or kind. So first I am going to observe if there are any marks that has been applied for in class 31 for sprout. I am just refining my search to make sure this word is available. So when I have given the word sprout, here it is showing there are around 29 marks which has been applied with sprout. And we can see these are all these marks are sprout combinations. Spoon and sprouts, sprouts fresh produce freshness, sprout pure, agro sprout. These are all the marks which has been applied with combinations along with sprout. So we can see the current status of these marks are either registered, refused, or abandoned. So we can see there is no oppositions going on for the word sprout. So next thing, sprout, I mean sprouty, sprouteria, sprout save more. So next I am going to search if there are any marks for using the word kind. Here there are few examples of the marks which are using kind in their trademark. So I can observe by seeing this there are marks more than 100. So I'm going to load more. So it will gives us the results of complete marks which is having kind in the trademark. So there are total of 181 marks with the word kind which is included in the trademark. So if I observe, this is the first one, like Mankind's. This is applied by Mankind Pharma Private Limited. Moxie Kind. The word kind, it was individually registered by Mankind Pharma Limited. Nature Mankind. So there are n number of words which has been registered by various people. Vita kind, being kind. Being kind is abandoned. So buff kind. So combination with kind has been accepted. So now we will recommend the client to go with the mark sprout kind, but we make sure we will tell them there is a chance of objection because some of these marks either with kind combination or sprout combination will be cited to us, but we can say that there is many combinations with sprout and kind has been allowed. So we will ask the trademark registry to allow a mark with sprout kind. One more example which I want to take is like Urban Gar. Urban Gar in class 21 for kitchen utensils. I am searching if there is any mark that contains Urban Gar in class 21. We can observe that there are no marks which has been applied with the word urban gar in class 21. But India being a multilingual lingual country, we need to make sure the gar is a Hindi word. So I'm going to translate it in English. Now I have to refine my search in a way that urban home or urban house to find if there are any marks with urban house in class 21. Trademark registry allows the trademark's name to be in in all the languages. So we have to provide translation to it while applying the mark. See, here we can find there is one mark which is registered. The current status shows it is registered urban house. So we are not gonna recommend the urban gar to our client. The next example I'm going to take is in class 5. As class 5 deals with medical and pharmaceutical industries, most of the names in class 5 are termed using the drug name. So while by adding prefix or suffix to the drug, a new word is coined. So in this class 5 is a crucial class for trademark applications. We have to be extra careful. So here what I'm going to say, I'm going to check GABA is a drug used in, GABA is a drug name derived from the drug which is used in brain related medicine. So I'm going to check if there is any GABA mark allowed by the registry. This is the name of the drug, GABA. So here there are four marks which has been applied in GABA. The first GABA is abandoned GABA. The second GABA is also abandoned. The third one is refused by the registry. And the fourth application, this is the recent application 69, which is applied on 21/6/2025. So it will take time for the registrar to give his decisions. This has been applied for pesticides. In class 5, each class has different goods. Class 5, one of the goods is medicine and pharmaceuticals and pesticides, insecticides, all those. So here he has applied it for pesticides. So GABA is the name of the drug. So a person or a company cannot claim entirety on the word GABA. So next, if we see if there are a combination of GABA will be given to many people. The first 100 marks has been shown. So because there are n number of marks, I'm just loading it. I have checked it previously. There are more than 1000 marks with GABA. So let us see. First, gabatrin. GABA is the drug name. By adding the suffix trin, Lupin Limited has registered their mark as gabatrin. Gabatrin is removed. Megabact has been applied by Bombay Tablet Manufacturings. GABA lept. By adding some suffix to GABA, Microlabs Limited has been applied this mark and this mark got registered. So when we are applying the marks in class 5, by using the drug name, we are either adding suffix to it and prefix to it, and we are coining a new word. So any person or a company cannot take entirety on the drug. So here we have many GABAs with either prefix or suffix. See, GABA Tech from Cipla Limited. Gabata from Alchem Laboratories. These are all the famous pharmaceutical companies which had applied for the mark with GABA. And the one more example which I want to show is I want to use the word Jyoti in class 3 for cosmetics. Because some letters of the words are silent in some cases, when we are doing a search, we have to be extra careful. In this case, I'm I'm giving the word Jyoti, Jyothi, in class 3 for cosmetics. Here I see there are some words. There are many words with Jyoti has been applied in class 3. Jyoti herbal hair oil, which is registered, and Jyoti sir, Jyoti brand oil, which is registered. These are all the marks with Jyoti in class 3. And Jyoti can be spelled with different Joti. Here H is silent. So I am going to search again this word as well in class 3. So this is one more Jyoti in class 3, Jyoti in class 3, which is registered. So when client gives us the word, we have to check if there is any silent letter, and we have to see if there are two spellings to the same word and check both the spellings. Next, this is the word mark search. While doing word mark search, we are doing it in 3 types, where we are seeing whether the mark is exactly similar or partially similar, or exactly or partially similar, by using these 3, like start with, contains, and match with. This is the word mark search. Next is a phonetic search. Phonetic search is as Phonetic search is essential because trademark law guards against confusion in sounds as well as sight. If the two marks are spelled differently, but if they sound the same way, this could be considered that both the marks are similar. This is especially relevant in India because of the languages and the pronunciations we are using. So here is an example of Lux, Lux versus Lux, Luks. Uh, Zigna, like me. Why we are doing the phonetic search? We need to do a phonetic search to reduce the risk of rejections based on the confusion. Even the trademark registry, phonetic algorithm helps us to identify such risks. Always before filing a mark, we need to check the phonetic spelling of the mark, and we need to search this spelling in the same class. Now, let us see how the phonetic search works. Previously, we have done the word mark search. Now, I am doing the phonetic search. Lakme in class 3. Because Lakme is a cosmetic brand which comes under class 3. So, here I am searching if all the phonetically similar marks for the word Lakme. These are the marks: Loxini, Lakme for men, Lakme. These are the cited marks for Lakme, Lakshmi. We call it as a Lakshmi, Lakme. So here the registry is showing Lakshmi, which which sounds similar to Lakme. So this is the one way of searching phonetically, and there is the other way as well. By using word mark only, we can search Lakme. We can use both the spellings while searching. So here it shows all the marks which is starting with Lakme. So I'm going to give the different spelling like me. So, phonetic search can be performed in two ways. One is while using the phonetic search, the method given by the registry, or if we know the phonetic spelling of the word, we can search by using the word marks. See, like few letters are phonetically same. In ABC, C and K. We call C as small car in phonetic and K as big car. So CAR car and KAR car both sounds in a similar way in a phonetic. So while doing a search, if there we need to check if there is any similar phonetical pronunciation, and that spelling should be checked again. The next is the next type of search is Vienna code search. Whereas for word marks we are searching using word mark search and phonetic search. Whereas for logos, if it contains any device, then we are going to use Vienna code search. Vienna code search is categorized same like classes in trademark. Vienna code is also categorized into 29 figurative elements. See here, lion. This lion is categorized as category 1, whereas star is categorized as 1 and lion is categorized as 3. Letter S is categorized as 27. So whatever logo we are using, whatever the elements we are using, first we need to check the category, and then we need to know the total number of this one. So now I'm going to show you Vienna code search. As we have seen, for stars, we are using this is the code to check stars. I'm checking in class 35 because all the people who are having businesses will apply in class 35. This actually shows us some results which is having stars in their mark, either in their logo or in their word mark. So once we find out the application number, we need to open the application number in e-registry and check if how their star is represented and how we will compare that star with our star. See, Starbucks coffee, it is having star in their mark. Even in their logo, it has stars. So all the marks which has stars in their logos has been shown. So here individually you have to open each application and check how their logo is represented, and if there is any difference between ours and theirs. This is how Vienna code search is done for Vienna code search is done for logos. These are the three types of search. One is like word mark search, phonetic search, and Vienna code search. Once we are done with the searches, once we are done with the searches, the next thing is we need to identify if there is any conflicting marks. The first what we are doing is identifying if there are any similar marks. Next is evaluating if there is any confusion between our mark and the existing mark. The last thing is to assess the strength of protection. So suppose if we are applying for sprout kind, to check if this mark is distinctive. So if this mark is distinctive. So by assessing these three things, we can identify that we are going to proceed with the trademark or whether we are going to search a few other names for our business. Why we are doing a trademark search? Because before applying for the mark, it is better to do a trademark search and see if there are any existing marks with the name you want to build your product and or your business. We have to make sure our brand has unique name when compared to other marks which are already available in same class in the market. We have to make sure our mark is distinctive and it is unique in nature. So till now we have seen how we are searching for trademark database in India. If suppose we want to apply for our ban in multiple countries, one way is to apply for application in each of these countries, or other way is going through the Madrid protocol. In Madrid protocol, around above 130 countries has signed this protocol where we can apply a single application through India using like IP India website. So if we want to apply in more than one country, we need to check this WIPO database. In this database to check if there are any similar marks in all the countries. We have to decide which countries we are gonna apply and select those countries while applying and while doing the search as well. See, these are the different websites for doing trademark search. TMU is used in European Union. All the countries registered in European Union. USPTO is used in United States of America. UK IPO is used for United Kingdom. China TM is used to check trademark availability in China. Before applying for a trademark, globally we need to check in each of these countries, or if we are going through Madrid protocol, we can search in WIPO database. What are the do's and don'ts while applying for a trademark? We need to make sure our trademark is unique. It is not descriptive in nature. And we need to make sure we are not using any generic terms or descriptive terms of geographical locations or surnames. Always we prefer using a coin term. And we need to check if the term is already available in that particular class. These are some famous cases of infringement. Starbucks versus Sambucks, 3M versus 3N. An Indian example are Naukri.com versus Naukar, and Patanjali disputes all comes under the trademark infringement classes. Summary is like to sum up trademark search. For why we are doing the trademark search is first to find if there is any legal or commercial filter before branding. Always, once we have done search, always document the results which we have obtained in the search and check whether we are going to proceed with the same name or we need to change the name. So once we are done with the summary, we get to understand if there is any visual similarities, phonetic similarities, or word match. So before applying for a mark, a good search avoids the later on legal infringements. So once the search is done, now again we need to check whether we are proceeding with the same mark or we are revising or we are dropping the mark completely. So before filing, we always suggest to seek professional help for filing and prosecution. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Can you please present the types of trademarks like this?
here we are applying trademarks in like 6 types. That first one is the word mark. Word mark means the name, like Amazon, Flipkart. Okay, next is the device mark. When it's coming to device mark, it is combination of word mark with logo. Amazon has this symbol. So along with the logo, if we are applying for the company name, it comes as a device mark. Next is like shape of the goods, color. So these are the types of trademarks which we can apply.
Can you go to the slide once? So it is not, you are showing the last slide.
Yeah, I'm just going. There are actually 6 types of trademarks. One is word mark, color mark, device mark, shape mark, sound mark, and three-dimensional marks. Based on our requirement, we are going to apply which mark. If it is only the name of the company, then we are applying it as a word mark. If it is the color, then we are applying it as a color mark. If it is a combination of name with logo of the company, then we will be applying it as a device mark. If it is something like this, like a shape of a bottle, we are applying it as a shape mark. And see Nokia ringtones and some Samsung ringtones, Apple phone ringtone. These marks are applied as sound mark and representing the product in three-dimensional, then we are going to apply it as three-dimensional marks. There are total of 6 marks.
What is the difference between the symbol mark and the logo type mark?
Logo is applied in device mark.
Yeah, as per Indian trademark application system, it is predominantly 2 types. One is the device and one is the word mark. So there are only 2 types actually. Word mark, you know, it's only the word, so you cannot upload anything. That means like an image, it doesn't take any image. The device mark takes the logo mark. That means like it can be a simple abstract logo, like the Volkswagen. Though Volkswagen has that symbol W in it, or the Coca-Cola as a stylized word. That is also logo. Or the M symbol of the McDonald's, along with the slogan or without the slogan. All these are actually uploaded as device marks, but we'll write a description or the condition what we are applying for. We are applying for example, orange, that block for the color. There we'll write, we are claiming the color and the color number and all, the color template. And for example, Volkswagen along with the name. So we'll write a description, not required in this case. So device mark itself says like it can be a combination of the text as well, the abstract of the logo. But types of trademarks, yes, there are 6 or more also, including the sound mark or the color mark or the shape mark or the taste mark or the smell mark. Though we don't have in India, like there is no formal application procedure. There are no applications registered, for example, in smell. But in US, in other jurisdictions, there are those as well. Smell can be also trademarked. Taste can also be trademarked. Color can also be trademarked. In this case, orange, they claimed the color in India also. Coca-Cola as well, they claimed the color in India. But in US, there are, or in Europe, there are different forms of applications, so that like physically you can send. There is no form or there is no scope of uploading the smell part of it, like you can physically represent through an application. As of India, like there are no applications as on date filed, so we don't have that. But in India also, we can write to the trademark office in the same format internationally followed, and then we can ask for protection. So primarily the word and the logo. The logo can be in different forms. It can be single, like the M symbol of the McDonald's, or it can be combination of word like Coca-Cola written in stylized word with red background, or it can be a only logo like a Nike symbol. It's just a symbol, or like Volkswagen along with the name along with the W shown in a stylized thing. So it can be anything. It can be artistic work in any form which goes with a brand in different classes. Now, after trademark registration, it is suggestible that it is also registered as copyright for two reasons. One is the time period, the protection time that you get through copyright. With copyright, like you'll get unlimited time. Means like till the company is live, the brand will be or the registration will be live without a need of renewing it. But for copyright, to get it registered, so you need to have the name first registered as trademark. So for that reason, we first recommend the clients to file a trademark for the word as well for the device in those classes where this mark comes in. And then after registration, after trademark registration, we suggest them to file a copyright as well for the clear aesthetic aspects like this logo aspect.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a few queries. So the first thing is, how do we check, let's say if we take the Coca-Cola example for a shape mark,
Yeah.
is it the same portal that we have to use that you have shown, sir, to check for shape marks, symbol marks, and color marks?
Yes, yes. By Vienna codification, so the logos are actually based on the shape of the logo, based on the ingredients or the abstract of the logo. The code is given, so we have to search for the code first, and then with the code, like we have to search in the database. We can search in the Indian patent database, Indian trademark database, as well. We can search in the global brand database. That is the WIPO provided database, or both, not only one. But as trademark registrations are jurisdiction wise, like when we are filing in India, we need to only search in India. There is no need like we have to do a global search.
So if it means that I hold a trademark for my brand in India, I can't protect it in other countries, right, sir?
You can. We have to
But I
make
have
a
to
separate
apply for it
application.
globally. With
Yes.
the trademark in India, I can't object someone having the same name in another country, right?
No, we cannot.
Okay. And sir, regarding the duration, how much time will it take, sir? What is the time required to get the trademark?
The normal time as per Act is 6 months. The first 2 months predominantly given to examiners for conducting a search and issuing a examination report. Examination report can be an acceptance report or it can be an objection report. Means
Okay.
like, Section 11 objections or Section 9 objections.
Okay.
And the applicant is given a month time, 30 days time from the date of examination report to reply.
Okay.
On replying, like they have to re-scrutiny and they have to accept or refuse.
Okay.
So as per Act, it is 6 months, like it is packaged so that we can get a result. But these days, the current timeline is around 13 to 14 months.
Okay. So once, let's say it is approved, sir.
Yeah.
So we have recently applied for one. So it is visible on the TM Search website, but after that, how many days will it take to get it confirmed? Because I hear multiple things from different people that it will take 6 months, it will take 1 year, and there's a period for raising objections. So which is actually right?
Yeah, 4 months. The 120 days is the publication time. After acceptance, after it is published in the next week journal. For example, today we might have got accepted.
Okay.
But Friday it will be listed in the journal, and from the Friday's date, it is 120 days.
Journal in a sense, the website, sir, you're referring to?
Yeah, trademark office weekly journal. There will be one PDF. They'll mention the accepted marks.
Okay.
So from that date, it is also shown in the application status page when it is been published.
Okay.
So from that date, it is 120 days. So 120 days is the mandatory time, and then 120 days is the time given to the third parties to oppose. After that, they cannot oppose.
So 120 plus 120, sir, or is it total
only
120?
120. From
Only
the date of publication, it is 120 days. Within
Okay.
120 days, the module accepts any oppositions that a third party wish to file.
Okay.
So after 120 days, it is automatic. Normally, the system has to generate a registration certificate.
Okay.
But again, there will be a procedural delay. So sometimes on the 120th day, we may get a registration certificate. In some cases, we have seen like after 4 months from that, or after even 6 months from that. So there is no
Hard and fast timeline.
yes.
And sir, till that 120 days is done, can we put TM on the logo, sir?
Yes.
TM immediately after filing, we can use it as TM. We cannot use it as R. So that is
Okay.
mentioned in the Act. We cannot use it as R. They haven't mentioned about TM.
Okay, so R is only after we acquire the full rights.
Yes. Only after registration certificate, we have to use it as R.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any more questions? Like you can actually ping us offline also if you have any questions related to trademark search or filings. So we'll wrap it here because like we took much more time than the planned one. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Suma. Thank you all the other team helping us actually arranging this. Thank you to the participants joining today, and we continue doing this live free webinars every Wednesday from 11:30 to 12:30. You can use the same joining link, Zoom link to tune in every week. So the next week, like we have a speaker from software industry who is a well-known person in software testing. So he'll be delivering us a session, which is a bit different when with IPR. But what is AI and how it is actually going to change the software testing industry. So that is the topic. So we are excited to have him in here, Mr. Venkata Sudhir Goli. And then we are all excited to have you all as participants as well. Thank you very much. Please, we'll share the details. So please pass on to your network. And thanks to all for joining today. Raj? I think, yeah, we'll end it here. Thank you. Thank you very much.